We did. We met in Bangkok, Thailand on a Nivea shoot, and actually when I first walked in, my first impression of you, I thought you were really came off a little cocky. I mean, I don't know, maybe that's just me, but that was my first impression.
I was just jet lagged. I don't know what you're talking about.
I had flown from LAX to Bangkok to shoot Nivea, and then we found out that we were both going to Hong Kong after the Nivea job.
And we were like, brothers!
Yeah. It's funny because we found out that we had the same agency in New York, Hong Kong, and Singapore?
In Singapore, yeah.
Up front, right?
Yeah, up front.
You're my arch enemy.
Whatever. That's why he hated me when he first saw me.
I didn't hate you.
Yes, you did. You actually even used that word.
I never use that word, so you're obviously making stuff up. I left New York for school. I went to Pepperdine here in LA to study TV production and also pursue TV and film acting. Yeah. And what better place to do that than Los Angeles? And then you're in LA because...
I know. Well, originally I was just supposed to shoot Scott's film, and then I called Scott up and I was like, you know, just a one-way plane ticket, please. He's like, why? I was like, well, I'm gonna skateboard back to New York. He's like, what? Let's do a documentary. I was like, cool. I wanted to do that anyway, so I just wanted like a little adventure. You know what I mean? Yeah. Something I've always wanted to do.
Well, you lived in New York. You lived in Hong Kong. You know, and Bangkok, so it's always been like that super metropolitan environment. This is obviously going to be a lot different.
Yeah, but I love LA, man.
Yeah, I know. All you talk about is the sun and gluten free and yoga. It's like, oh, get out of here.
I'm so crunchy now. I belong here.
So granola.
Yeah. But you know, it's kind of interesting because Scott and I were talking about like expanding on the film. And the fact that we're actually working on a Korean adoption documentary as well. Cool. You know, anything that all the funding that we get is not only going to pay off what we're doing for the skateboard, but we want to add it into the other documentary of Korean adoptees.
Cool.
And it really kind of hits like close to home because like I went back to Korea trying to find my parents. I think I remember telling you that.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I just wasn't given any information. Like they're not allowed. Like Holt is not allowed to give the information. So Scott and Eric have this documentary they've started where they've actually interviewed Korean adoptees who can actually find their parents as well, and then who can't find their parents. So any of like the extra proceeds is going to go to flying them out to go meet their parents or like interview and just finish the documentary. So we just thought that'd be like a nice add-on to what we're doing.
Totally, yeah. That's awesome. I love that. Yeah. It's like a really, not just for you, but for other people too, and other people can relate to you in that way as well.
Yeah. I went back to Holt probably almost 2 years ago, and I was going there to find my parents, and hopefully I was hoping that my presence there would let them know I was serious about finding my parents. They gave me the same paperwork that my parents gave to me. They were a little bit more detailed, but they basically said that my parents gave me up for adoption because they wanted to get remarried, and you can't really have like a child for like to get remarried. It's just not culturally acceptable. It's culturally acceptable, so they gave me up. And then what ended up happening was they gave me to my grandfather, and then my grandfather couldn't afford me anymore, so they gave me to the adoption center, foster care, and then through Holt I got adopted through my parents in America.
Tabitha moved to Nashville.
What?
Yeah.
She went back to Nashville?
Well, she was not from Nashville. She went to Nashville.
Don't even put that on the bloopers. He likes putting stuff at the end.